On July 15, 1988, Emma and Dexter graduated from the University of Edinburgh. After the ceremony, they say their goodbyes, and while Tilly and Callum are busy making out, Dexter and Emma are left standing together. Dexter strikes up a conversation, asking if they'd met before. Turns out they have, back when he crashed her birthday party. They properly introduce themselves, and Dexter offers to walk her home. They share a heated kiss when they reach her flat. Emma goes to change her dress, and when she comes out, she finds Dexter about to leave. She admits she isn't good at one-night stands, and he suggests they stay friends. They cuddle in bed, and Dexter shares that July 15th is St. Swithin's Day. A year later, on July 15th, 1989, Dexter helps Emma set up her room in London. He teases her about finding someone nice there. Emma, aspiring to be a writer, talks about her dreams. Soon after, Dexter leaves for India, telling Emma to keep sending letters and encouraging her to have fun, predicting she'll make it in London. However, a year later, things take a different turn. On July 15, 1990, Emma finds herself employed as a waitress at a Mexican restaurant, playfully dubbing it the Graveyard of Ambitions. She encounters Ian, the new waiter, guiding him through the basics. It seems that those confined to routine day jobs often harbor artistic frustrations. Ian, a comedian, extends an invitation to Emma for his open mic night at the House of Laughs that evening. Nevertheless, Emma politely refuses, mentioning that she prefers heading home to eat and then cry. After finishing her shift, Emma calls Dexter to vent about the unpleasant odor in her room and the sense of being swallowed by the ordinariness of London life. She confesses that her initial hope of making a difference has faded, since nobody seems to know her. Dexter provides reassurance, emphasizing that worthwhile things often take time. Inquiring about Dexter's teaching job in Paris, Emma jokingly cautions him against getting too close to his students. But this is Dexter, so he does the opposite, as evidenced by a girl doing circus tricks in his room. Trying to spare Emma's feelings, Dexter fibs, saying he plans to have lunch with his mother. Unfortunately, the call ends abruptly before Emma can express how much she misses him. It becomes evident that Dexter's parents are concerned about his future career, given his extended holiday post-graduation without actively pursuing serious employment. Dexter has been going around abroad teaching English. Dexter encounters his mother, who probes into the identity of the letter sender. Dexter firmly maintains that it's not her concern, and makes it clear that Emma is just a friend. They proceed to meet his father, and she requests Dexter to join her for lunch the following day, indicating a need for a conversation. Fast forward to the 15th of July 1991, Dexter drops by Emma's restaurant, where she catches him sharing a kiss with another girl, almost swallowing her face. Being jealous, Emma confronts Dexter, who reassures her that it was merely a kiss. Emma discloses an offer for the managerial position, because Emma seems like a person who is not going anywhere, but Dexter advises her to quit the job, believing she's not fulfilling her potential. He inquires about her poems, and she admits to their lack of success. Dexter praises Emma's intelligence and beauty, encouraging her to embrace confidence. Dexter proposes that Emma take a holiday, though she appears uncertain about the idea. Despite his flourishing career as a trainee TV producer, Dexter plays down his success. Come July 15, 1992, Emma and Dexter finally set out on a road trip together in France. Emma sets some ground rules for the trip, like the need for separate bedrooms, and implementing a strict no cuddling, no flirting policy. They settle by the beach, and a romantic moment happens as Dexter offers to apply sunscreen on Emma's back. However, she instead goes to take a refreshing dip. Before long, they discover that the beach allows clothing-optional activities, observing some men casually barbecuing in their birthday suits. Dexter suggests they embrace the free-spirited ambience and join in, but Emma declines. As she staunchly sticks to the established rules, she emphasizes that Dexter has a girlfriend, Ingrid, who is a supermodel. Dexter counters and asserts that Ingrid is quite uninhibited. Later that night, they head out, and Emma admits to Dexter about having a crush on him, but knowing him too much has gotten her over it. Dexter, though, casually drops that he already knew. Emma shares that hanging out with him has sort of cured her crush, and Dexter suggests they go for a stroll. Dexter, feeling a bit wild, decides to take a spontaneous dip in the water in the buff, encouraging Emma to join for a skinny dip, even though she's all about sticking to the rules. After a bit of hesitation, Emma takes the plunge, and they have a blast. In a more serious moment, Dexter confesses he felt the same way after they almost kissed, and spills his feelings for Emma. Unfortunately, just when things are getting serious, Dexter unintentionally messes it up. He throws out the idea of having some fun, going on a holiday, and maybe keeping things casual between them. But Emma turns him down, giving his head a playful shove into the sand. Emma seems visibly annoyed though. While they chat, Dexter spots two cheeky kids snatching his clothes. Dexter chases them and grabs some fabric from a pile. The people laughs hysterically, making Dexter red and embarrassed. Emma joins the chase. While Dexter is sobbing in embarrassment, Emma playfully teases Dexter, and expresses her determination to catch the culprits and retrieve his underwear. Afterward, as Dexter and Emma think about what just went down, they realize they've pretty much thrown out all the rules they had set. Surprisingly, it doesn't bother them. Later, in bed, Emma lightens the mood by jokingly pledging to track down those little rascals. On July 15, 1994, Dexter is now a presenter for a raunchy TV program. The success of his career leads him to be very indulgent in partying and alcohol. Later, Dexter visits his mother, who is facing cancer. He brings a gift from Emma, a book, but his mom sarcastically jokes to stay on short stories. Dexter tries to share some of his shows with his mother, but she swiftly turns off the TV, expressing disappointment, particularly due to the explicit content. She scolds Dexter about the presence of scantily clad dancing girls in cages during his shows, as it is Ike. She urges him to pursue something more meaningful and not shallow. Dexter dismisses it, insisting it's the only thing he knows. Later, she apologizes for her sudden outburst, blaming the effects of her medications. Dexter, understanding her circumstances, updates her on an upcoming party he plans to attend, and then gently carries her into her room. Dexter wakes up late in the evening, saying he'll leave the next day, but his mom insists on him going. She believes he'll be a good man eventually, but points out he's not there yet, as she expresses worry about the changes in him. While getting ready to leave, Dexter's dad steps in, warning him not to visit his mom if he is not sober. His dad takes charge, grabbing Dexter's car keys and telling him to go. They argue for a bit before leaving. Dexter leaves a message for Emma saying he needs to talk. Meanwhile, Emma, out on a date with Ian, remains oblivious to Dexter's attempts to reach her, choosing not to answer the phone. Emma and Ian go out for a celebration dinner while Dexter, in anticipation, waits for a message from Emma. He copes and deals with his emotions through alcohol. Emma confides in Ian that she had hoped to mark her graduation with someone, and Ian questions if Dexter was unavailable. Dexter continues leaving messages for Emma, urging her to take a cab, as he's eager to meet her. Exiting the restaurant, Ian suggests heading to his place, and Emma agrees. On July 15, 1995, Emma and Ian are officially a couple, enjoying the routine of commuting to work together. However, Ian isn't thrilled about Emma's close friendship with Dexter. At this time, Dexter's mom passes away. Steve drops by Dexter's TV station and meets his new girlfriend, Suki, but he doesn't warm up to her because she's too loud. When Suki asks about Steve's late wife, he discloses her passing. Steve warns Dexter that he'll be keeping a close eye on him, and advises him to ignore negative media coverage. Browsing the newspaper, Dexter reads the unflattering title of "The Most Annoying Man on Telly." Disturbed, he reaches out to Emma, suggesting he send a car for her. Emma declines, assuring him she can handle it herself. Despite her reassurances, Dexter insists that he feels better around her. Later that night, Emma tunes into Dexter's interview, noticing his struggle to connect with the audience. Emma just ignores Ian, and it is evident that Ian is insecure about his relationship with Emma because of Dexter. On July 15, 1996, Emma and Ian decide to move in together, but Emma also has a date planned with Dexter that night. Feeling Ian's jealousy, Emma suggests skipping the meeting with Dexter if it bothers Ian, but Ian insists she goes. Later, Emma and Dexter meet up at a club, where he compliments her outfit. Dexter recommends Emma to get a mobile phone, but she worries about potential brain damage. Emma later jokes with Dexter about him buying dinner once she finally gets a mobile phone. They both chat about their current relationships, and Emma invites Dexter to check out her new house. However, Dexter gets involved in a conversation with another girl, making Emma royally pissed. She suggests the girl join them, but Dexter insists he came specifically to see her. Dexter then asks about Emma's teaching job, unintentionally embarrassing her, and causing her to leave in anger as he's already drunk. Emma, annoyed, shouts at him, noting she hasn't seen him sober in the past 3 years. Dexter shares that he's going through a lot after his mother's passing. Emma apologizes, but opens up about her struggles, stuck in a flat with a man she isn't in love with. She expresses that he has outgrown her, or each other, and questions the purpose of their friendship if they can't have meaningful conversations. Dexter apologizes and Emma hugs him, confessing her love, but admitting she doesn't like him anymore. She then leaves, leaving Dexter feeling sad. By July 15, 1997, Emma is found swimming. That's it. On July 15, 1998, at 32, Dexter realizes the TV script life is no longer his calling, prompting him to consider a change. His manager fires him, without any backup or alternative job to support Dexter. It's not his fault, but the audience is just not vibing with him. The manager advises him to find something that he really loves. Fast forward to July 15, 1999. Dexter gathers the courage to ask Sylvie out. During a visit to her parents, he faces insults for his previous role as an annoying TV presenter. The family clearly dislikes him. While playing a game with Sylvie, Dexter accidentally whips her nose bloody and breaks the glass table. The mom blames Dexter for the accident, In another part of the story, Ian gets emotional and dramatic upon discovering Emma's lingering feelings for Dexter through her diary. This revelation sparks a notable argument between them. Despite jointly buying a flat, Emma shoulders the heavier financial burden and blows out in the open about her real feelings for Ian. Ian admits that it's a good thing they didn't tie the knot, apologizes for prying into her personal space, and they mutually agree to an amicable breakup. On July 15, 2000, Emma and Dexter attend a friend's wedding. During the event, Dexter shares with Sylvie that he and Emma went to the same university, sparking some playful teasing from Sylvie about their shared history, including the bride, Tilly. Dexter's friend Callum extends a job offer at a hippie restaurant, but Dexter declines, skeptical about it. But Callum is just concerned about Dexter's current living situation. Callum tells Sylvie about the job offer, but then Dexter heads out to meet Emma. Outside, Emma teasingly brings up Dexter's past with Tilly, the bride. Dexter confesses to the mishaps in his career, paralleling the challenges in his relationships with his mother and Emma. They engage in a candid conversation about their personal lives, with Emma probing Dexter about his feelings for Sylvie, to which he expresses admiration, despite her lack of humor. Dexter persuades her to step outside, and Emma reveals that she's on the verge of writing a book. She emphasizes that she's alone, but not lonely. Dexter reciprocates by sharing his invitation card, and Emma warmly congratulates him. The wedding is imminent due to Sylvie's condition. Dexter discloses that he's about to become a father, and Emma expresses her confidence that he will be a wonderful dad. Opening up about missing him, Emma conveys her desire for their closeness. They share a kiss, and Dexter suggests leaving before things escalate. On July 15, 2001, Dexter is in his daddy era, and finally accepts Callum's job offer, despite his allergy to hippie trigger words like organic and homemade. Emma, on the other hand, pursues her passion for writing, completing her book. Sylvie goes out, leaving their child in Dexter's care, and Dexter finally makes her laugh. Dexter engages in playful activities with his daughter Jasmine, and reads Emma's book to her. They also catch a glimpse of Dexter's ex-girlfriend Suki, who has now become a TV host. Sylvie calls, but Dexter mistakes the caller as Emma. Still, he tells Sylvie that Jasmine has just slept. Sylvie seems worried that it is late already. Dexter requests Sylvie's patience, as it is just new to him, and promises he will be a better husband and father. However, it is revealed that Sylvie is cheating on Dexter with Callum. On July 15, 2003, Dexter is en route to Paris, and Emma, now a renowned writer, is in the prime of her career. Dexter is now a divorcee, after discovering Sylvie's affair with Callum. Dexter meets Emma, and just as he's about to confess his feelings, Emma drops the bomb that she's with a man named Jean-Pierre. This makes him mad. As they walk, Emma shares details about her new man, and Dexter attempts to tease her. Emma, however, asserts her independence, stating she doesn't need his permission for her choices. Dexter counters, revealing they had a previous night together in London. It becomes evident that Emma broke her rule. She discloses that she slept with him to provide comfort after his divorce from Sylvie, claiming it was one of the best nights of her life, as they shared the experience 3 times. Dexter inquires if she ever considered a romantic relationship between them, and Emma confesses she did, but only in the 80s. She instructs him to prepare, as Jean-Pierre wants to meet him. While Emma gets dressed, Dexter grapples with jealousy over her new relationship. Emma emerges in a lovely dress, but Dexter playfully teases her, and they head out. Despite spotting Jean-Pierre, Dexter expresses his inability to meet him, and announces his intention to leave on the first train the next day. Dexter reassures Emma not to feel sorry for him. Emma hands him the house keys, and she departs to meet Jean-Pierre while Dexter watches with regret. As Dexter heads back to the apartment, Emma catches up, confessing that she can't shake him off because she still loves him, and they share a kiss. She warns him that she'll murder him if he mucks on her or betrays her. Dexter promises he would never. On July 15, 2004, Dexter rehearses his wedding speech, and Emma wants to see his notes. Fast forward to July 15, 2005. Emma and Dexter are happily married. Sylvie rings the door and interrupts their intimate moment, and Dexter now shares custody of their daughter Jasmine, with Sylvie, who is now with Callum. Emma later expresses her desire to have a child with Dexter, and they begin trying to start a family. Moving on to July 15, 2006, Emma informs Dexter that she isn't pregnant yet, causing disappointment and sadness. Dexter, however, remains optimistic, and suggests trying again. Despite Emma's initial disappointment, Dexter comforts her, diverting her thoughts from the unsuccessful pregnancy attempts. He proposes meeting after work to discuss their situation, and Emma agrees. After work, Emma goes swimming and calls Dexter, apologizing for her earlier snappiness and informing him that she is on her way. Tragically, as she rides her bicycle home, Emma is struck by a truck. Although she remains conscious, the injuries prove fatal. Unaware of this, Dexter listens to her voice message while waiting for her. Unfortunately, Emma succumbs to her injuries. Upon discovering Emma's passing, Dexter sinks into a depression, spending the following days confined to his bed. On July 15, 2007, Dexter copes with his grief by reverting to his hedonistic lifestyle, engaging in flirtations with various women. His reckless behavior escalates into a physical altercation when he confronts a man for flirting with his girlfriend. Unfortunately, Dexter ends up on the receiving end of a beating. The next morning, Sylvie, along with Jasmine, discover a bloody Dexter injured and take him to his father. Steve shares a perspective with Dexter, suggesting that the 15th of July could become a yearly holiday, and encouraging him to live as if Emma is still present. Despite Dexter's initial resistance, Steve convinces him by revealing that he has been following the same practice for the past decade. On July 15, 2009, Dexter has transitioned to owning a fruit store, and Ian pays him a visit. Ian shares that he has abandoned his stand-up comedy career, now working for an insurance company, and is contently married with children. Expressing his disdain for the 15th of July, Ian reveals that he never really liked Dexter, as Emma always seemed to light up around him. Ian acknowledges the positive influence Dexter had on Emma, making him decent, while he, in turn, made her happy. Despite their past conflicts, Ian expresses gratitude to Dexter for the positive impact he had on Emma's life. Surprisingly, Ian is now married, and wishes Dexter all the best in life. Subsequently, Dexter reminisces about the morning following their graduation. Emma pays him a visit, contemplating what they could do, but Dexter mentions his need to meet with his parents. Eventually, he agrees to take a walk with her. As they ascend the hill, Emma asserts that she doesn't want his phone number, postcards, marriage proposal, or babies. Instead, she suggests they remain friends if they ever cross paths again. However, Dexter playfully informs her that his flat will be empty, as his parents won't arrive anytime soon, hinting at the possibility of continuing what they started. Excited by the prospect, Emma and Dexter race down the hill to Dexter's house. On July 15, 2011, Dexter takes Jasmine to the hill, playfully blaming his shoes for being slow. He shares with her that he had been to the hill with Emma a long time ago. When Jasmine asks if he misses Emma, Dexter admits that he does. Trying to lighten the mood, he declares Jasmine his best friend, but she counters that Sylvie holds that title. Feeling a bit down, Dexter questions if he's that terrible, to which Jasmine evades an answer. Instead, she plays music and cryptically tells him that he knows what he is. Dexter then continues the flashback of that year 1988, when his parents are returning early. He introduces Emma to his parents, and his mom invites her for tea. Emma suggests leaving, and as she walks away, Dexter rushes after her, asking for her number. He apologizes for his parents' early return, and Emma, with a kiss, provides him with her phone number before bidding him farewell.